So we're going to do questions, but we thought we also are pretty aware of what are most of the frequently asked questions. So we thought if we run through those really quickly ourselves, then we'll take questions from the floor. So the first one is, can I walk by myself? No. This is a team event. So there's that side of it. There's also the side of it safety wise. We, as soon as you put on a race bib and step onto our course, we're responsible for your safety. We can't look after you if you're out there by yourself. You can be super experienced. It doesn't mean that there can't be some, a heart attack or a stroke, or, a broken leg or a snake bite or anything like that. So you must be walking with other people. However, as you heard from listening to Stefan, we do have people that are we don't have a team, but we still want to come and participate. We call them the hitchhikers. So when you register, you just go and click on join a team, join the hitchhikers. We have one for every single distance. And then you get to go out with Stefan and some of the other great people that have been in those teams. We have never had anyone complain or have any trauma. It's almost like we attract amazing people. You get to meet new people, you get to have great experience and still be part of it. So don't stress, just go and sign up and join the hitchhikers team. The next question that we often get is, okay, I really want to do it, but I can't find 5 friends to form the team. There's only 2 of us. Okay, the 2 of you can still go and join the hitchhikers team. You can still go and join it as a threesome. What you can also do is, as you get talking to people over months, I'd still sign up your team now. As you get talking to people over months, you never know who's your neighbor or your someone that you work with or a school parent or something like that. That's like, hey, I saw that. I didn't have a team. They will then join your team. So a lot of teams get filled closer to the day. The other side of that is if you end up with 3 people and we've got 2 teams of 3 people, we can join you guys up together in those last couple of weeks before the event. There'll be other teams that someone's dropped out or got injured or stuff like that. They're low in numbers. So towards those things. So just the biggest thing is just get started. Just get a team, get the 3 of you, get going, and we will help you towards the end, making sure that you can be safe and we can get you out on course. Okay, can we do the 100Ks without stopping, Luke?
No. Basically, what we do force everyone to stop overnight. As you mentioned, that we've got the 43K and the 57K on those separate days. And this is actually designed this way because we want people actually to be out there. We want them to be healthy while they're doing this. Set up this course. It's very huge. It's very big. So it's more about getting people to that finish line and having a weekend of it. So they're out there doing the 100Ks with their team. Get a place, get a house, stop, you have that evening together. It's about building that team relationship, those bonds back up.
But yes, sleep deprivation and mental health are not friends.
Conversive to each other, are they?
Especially if you've gone 36 or 48 hours without exactly. Sleeping. And so another question we get is people often ask us, where do we stay overnight? This is really a decision for you and your teammates. So we have people that are local to the areas that will stay at home. We have people from Southeast Melbourne that it's only, a half an hour drive. So they travel back and forth each day. We have other teams that camp. We have a lot of teams who hire like a stays or an Airbnb or something like that and have, a really great weekend of it. So it's up to you to figure out what's the right thing for your teammates and what do you want to get out of it. Mornington Peninsula Tourism are putting some links and suggestions together on our website. That should all be through. They should have that to us by next week. But one little tip that we would say from our end is have a think about what distance you're doing and where your start and finish location is. So you don't want to be staying in Portsea if you're doing the 30-kilometre walk. It's a long drive home when you finish in Murray. So for example, the 100-kilometre distances, we recommend on the Port Phillip side of the bay, having a look around the Dramana safety beach areas. Yeah. Or on the Western Port side, having a look around the Point Leo Shore. That's about your middle point for all the 2 different start lines and the 2 different finish lines. Again, if you've got any questions, we're here. So you've just got to send us a message and we'll help you with that. How far do they have to walk, Luke?
Look, for the 100, the 57 and 40K distances, teams we've got it set up to be a pace between 4 and 6Ks an hour on average, okay? So, and that's given about a half an hour break at each wellness stop. This is because we've got traffic management open at different times and things like that. But we're also trying to keep everyone healthy as well. Yeah, and keeping them, within a good area of each other.
And if you go on rest for 2 hours, it's very difficult to get back out on course.
Completely. So, it's just so we look at keeping people between that 4 to 6Ks an hour and generally find that's not a difficult thing to do.
No, people get very concerned and worry about it before the event. We have never had any teams have any trouble. We always close our events hours in advance, don't we, Fiona? We're always packing up early. On the day, you just get out there and really do it. And if you're also struggling, towards the end of the courses, we have like little golf buggies driving around and stuff like that. So there's no problem with jumping in that and, you know, having a little rest for 15, 20 minutes while your teammates just walk another K up the road, and then we go and find them and let them out and things like that. Again, it's about getting your team to the finish line. It's not about being, you know, a competitive athletic event.
Yeah.
This is another really common question, one that makes us a bit sad. We would love the answer to be yes, but...
I bring my dog. Unfortunately, we're on Parks Week planned a lot of the time. And due to the wildlife there, they obviously have strict no dog policies. We'd love to be saying yes, obviously. This is no domestic animals at all.
Yeah, but no.
Yeah. And again, we are always really respectful of the land that we walk on and the environments that we're in. So we need to protect the native animals that are in the spaces that we're walking as well. Another common question we get is, where does the registration fee go to? We're not expecting you to memorize this. There's no test afterwards, but this does give you some little bit of an idea of what does go into it. You know, some people say to us, oh, do you just buy a race bib and that's about it? There's a lot of costs that go in towards it. And we are actually able to keep our registration fees a lot lower than other events, just because of the sheer magnitude of volunteer hours and the lack, you know, the reduced number of wages that we have to pay. But there is a lot that goes into running the event and keeping you safe, and we definitely don't take any shortcuts when it comes to your safety.
No, definitely not. And that's the most important thing, is you and your safety out there.
Yeah, I know. Just to add on that one, I think as a charity, though, we're grateful, particularly, you know, Anna Luke, for the volunteers there that really contribute thousands of hours there to developing and running the events, which really helps to make sure that the challenge costs are covered by the registration fee, and allows us to ensure that any fundraising then goes directly into the service. So thank you.
And 100%, we just definitely want to make sure that that's respected, that anybody who goes out and does raise some money, that's definitely 100% getting through to where you want it to be. Yeah. Again, we'll just leave this one up there as another little reminder. Just go to the website if you are joining us. Do not miss that deadline on Sunday. And now let's open it up and see if anybody else has got any questions for us.
And I was just going to say, there's a couple of questions, and thank you for that. And just so everybody knows, Anna and Luke are like the beating heart of the Great Aussie Hike. So they very quietly in the background. This is probably the most you're ever going to see them. So Chloe just said, hi, looking forward to meeting you all at the event, Chloe. We are looking forward to seeing you too and having Lifeline on board. Okay, do we still have the mates rate, $200 between 5th to the 31st of December?
Yep, so that'll be after this one, but this is the cheapest price that will be on offer. We never do a sale after people have got it. So don't stress that if you go and get something later on, it will always be more expensive. So there is another sale that will come after this before Christmas, but this is the cheapest that you will get is before Sunday.
Yeah.
Okay. Can we camp at Main Ridge Cricket Club?
No, unfortunately, but there's Point Leo is just down the road in Shoreham. I don't believe we'd have to talk to them directly, but I don't think it's council land though, so that's it's council set up land. Yeah. So, but there is free camping just down on the coast at Point Leo, which is actually a really good spot for Red Hill South to start for the second day.
Okay. Can you register for the 57-kilometre and then upgrade to the 100-kilometre on the day?
Well, on the day would be a little bit tricky. We would definitely be wanting you to upgrade a little bit before that. We would hope that you would know yourself a little bit before that, so we can probably a couple of weeks out work with you on that. But yeah, on the day would be tricky because we wouldn't even be knowing that you were coming. Your bib would be in another box ready for the next day and things like that.
It's from a safety perspective. It's logistical safety perspective. You have to
and again, just who's your team?
Yeah.
Who are you walking with? Are you just turning up by yourself and saying, I want to walk 100 kilometres and stuff like that? Again, if there's something specific that's a reason you want to wait till the actual day, just have a conversation with us offline, and we might be able to work towards to have an understanding of what you want to do. But yeah, just the biggest thing for us is communication. Keep talking to us. We'll do everything we can to cater to your individual requests. But just it's more giving us that knowledge and that heads up. Yeah. We can then help you more.
Okay, so Del has just responded to the Main Ridge Cricket Club.
Yes.
About the camping ground. it's the long weekend and no free camping at Point Leo. He works there.
It's not the long
okay.
weekend.
Sorry?
Our event isn't on the long weekend.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So
We definitely avoid long weekends.
how do you add more than 5 people to your 100-kilometer team?
Okay, so when you are going in, if you are registering and putting them all in one at a time, you just add more people.
Okay.
Yeah. And people can also just join your team. So you just give them go through the registration, they can find your team and join it there.
So the team leader registers, and then other people can be added to the team as you go along.
Yeah. So your team captain will go in and click create a team. They'll type in your team name. Then you just need everybody to have that team name, and they come back, they click join a team, start searching from that name. There'll be a drop down menu, click on it, and you're all together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if something goes wrong, let us know and we can put you in the team.
Yeah, we'll get to we'll get to that.
So just on the camping thing, that is good. Still no free camping at Point Leo. It's $45 per night.
Okay.
Okay. So for that, hang on, I've just missed one. Let me just go back up again. If you have someone who just purely wants to be support crew and doesn't want to walk, do they need to register and pay?
Yep. So they are still a member of the team. They still get a race bib. They still get a finisher medal. They still get a challenge buff. So they're all still part of that. So the thing is that they are still part of your 5-person team.
Yep.
Now, what will happen if you've got 4 people who are looking to do the 100Ks and just 1 person who wants to do the support crew? What we recommend for that is that's when you pay via a team fee. So the team captain comes to us and says, hey, can I just pay for the entire team? And then you divide up the costs a little bit more. So we used to do it our first year, everybody paid as the team fee and then reimbursed the team captain. But we just found out of demand, a lot of people said to us, no, we're all doing share the distance. It's much easier for us all just to divide it up and pay now. But if you're doing something a little bit different, contact us, pay as a team, divide it up separately yourselves, depending on what your team situation is. Okay. So then the other walkers would cover the support crew portion, that 5th person portion.
Gotcha. For the 100-kilometer challenge, is it mandatory to have a vehicle?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So
otherwise you can't get there and get home and all those kind of things. And your gear, you've got compulsory gear, and there's other gear that you'll need to be carrying. So the vehicle needs to be moving along the course with you. I
think we can answer that one from Josh as well. So the support person goes along, they take the vehicle with them. So they'll drive that vehicle between wellness stops.
And so if you're changing who's on course, you just got to remember to get the keys off them before the teammates start walking out on course and have walked off with the keys.
And make sure the walkers have the radio.
Yes.
Is the other one.
Is there a minimum age to register?
Our system is set up for 13-year-olds. That's pretty much it. We will, again, it's about having a conversation with us with things like that. But with the 13-year-olds, there is another little fine print area in the terms and conditions. So there is a limited number of underage people that you can have in part of your team, because you've got to have a certain number of adults that are taking responsibility for them, all that normal stuff. But yeah, there are a lot of really fit and healthy teenagers that we've had on course that have had a great experience.
And we do encourage you, get that family together.
Yeah.
Including your son, Anna.
Yes.
How can we judge which distance we can manage, and how long do we need to train for the various distances? Sorry if you covered this earlier.
No, that's kind of what's your starting point? There's lots of different questions with that. What we do is we often put people on the phone with Luke. So if that person wants to get in touch with us, we can get Luke to give them a call and just have a bit of a talk through the training program that he's written. And he's got a lot of experience in this area to go, this is a good starting point. But don't just think that the 30Ks being the shorter distance is the easier option.
Actually,
the 30Ks is you're going out and walking 30Ks straight. So to be in one of the other teams where you're sharing the distance and you're doing a 10K section, then having a rest for a couple of hours, then going out and doing 10Ks, then going home to bed, that can actually be easier to train for and to accomplish than going out and running the 30Ks. But we would recommend, if you've got specific individual questions about yourself, get in touch. We'll have a bit of a chat to you and figure out something that works for you and your mates.
Yeah. And as you were saying, Anna, that 30K is actually quite, or compared to the others, if you have a team and you can do that, share the distance on a 57, you're actually covering very much, like you can be covering the same distance as you are for the 30 over the whole day, but you're sharing it with your mates more, so you get more of a rest.
Getting that rest.
So there's different ways to approach it as well. I'm happy to talk to people in regards to how fit you have to be and all of that. Yeah, so get in contact and we'll have a chat.
And there's also a degree of, if you've just gone out and the longest you've walked is 20 Ks and you signed up for the 30, you tend to get the 30 on the day. There's just a whole lot of
adrenaline is the next kick.
And the energy of the event, you do kick it into another gear. So never underestimate what you can do on the day as well.
And if not, the golf buggy can help out.
That's it. The golf buggy will pick you up if you don't make it.
And help you get there.
Cara said she was only able to add 5 people. I'm not sure if that comment was written before or after Anna and Luke talked about adding people to the team.
Yeah, no, Cara, you can add more. They don't have to technically have an invite. It can be, they can just go through and find you in there. You can also just send them the link and that should be able to get them straight to join your team.
Cara, we can look you up and see, just make sure that it's all going through fine for you. And if there is any little, IT, glitches. sometimes a little team, glitch, we'll pick up on that and make sure you can definitely get more people in your team.
Okay, any other questions? Josh, I think we answered your question. How does the support person go from one wellness stop to the next? In the car. Will one group be fine to share one car? Yes, that's correct. So 1 car per team, or you can have more if you want as well. You're not limited to the 1 car, but 1 car is sufficient per team.
Very much encouraged.
Provided everybody can share in that car
as much as possible.
Yes. So any more?
We want you out and cross walking.
Yeah.
Now, also, if anybody does have any additional questions after this session tonight, please do message Anna and Luke. They're incredibly responsive, and we'll get back to you very quickly to try to make the process as pleasant and streamlined as possible from your registration all the way through to the end. So, as I said, I'm an ambassador for the Great Aussie Hike. Absolutely delighted to be part of it. It's an incredible event. So if you are thinking about doing it, my advice to you is just do it. If you've come along to this information session, you're clearly keen. If you're still here on the call now, you're clearly keen. Just register and come along and try it out. It truly is an incredible experience, life-changing experience, an amazing weekend of connection, of community, of mates, of well-being, of all of the stuff. So Beatrice has just asked, what time does the challenge start on the first day? So
around 7 a.m. We're not great at going right on time, are we, Fiona? We do a bit of a sunrise ceremony on the first day. And it's just a really great way to come together as a group and reset our minds and think about what we're going to do. The sun can even though you've got predicted times, we will wait 5 minutes if that means you guys get to leave Cape Schanck and walk towards and watch the sunrise as you're walking around Bushrangers Bay. So again, not a timed event, not stressed like that. If it's 5 or 10 minutes and you get to have a magnificent experience, we'll wait that extra 10 minutes. So, but around 7, we have everybody there by.